Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Gabba. It is a picture-perfect postcard day here in beautiful central suburbs of Brisbane. Mark Kennedy is my name, and joining me this morning and into the afternoon will be Bob Batty, the encyclopedia of everything NEAFL, for this, round 13 clash on NEAFL TV, thanks to our broadcast partner, Bar TV. And I might throw to you, Bob, I don't think we can get a better day.
No, beautiful day, isn't it? Lovely, the sun cascading everywhere over this huge stadium, and it's a perfect opportunity for the Lions players to again push their names up for senior selection. They've been doing it consistently all year, and there's no reason today why they shouldn't have another big victory.
And of course, Brisbane, they're Bo Derek. They're the perfect 10 so far, 10 and blot. From all their games so far. Redland 2 and 8, so they're sitting in 9th position, as you might think. Brisbane sit top of the ladder, and a win today would put them 2 games and an enormous amount of percentage clear, and just about even now, so up top spot, you'd think, Bob. So opportunity, and Redland have played well here in the past at the Gabba, but haven't been able to get the chocolate, so we're hoping for a good display for them. Yeah,
look, they're going to have to play at their optimum peak, aren't they? I know Clay Cameron's been in fantastic form, marking everything that comes his way, and Matthew Hamilton has had a purple patch as well in front of the sticks. So, look, they'll be hoping Malone and all their good players, Salter, certainly young Sol Cormack around the midfield, they'll be hoping that they can push the Lions certainly early and hopefully put a little bit of scoreboard pressure on, but it's hard to see the Lions getting done the way they're playing at the moment.
Well, Bob, we've had a few changes late in this game, a couple out for each side. Do you want to run us through that if you could?
Yeah, certainly. The players for the Lions that are out are number 21, Sam Skinner, number 37, Brandon Starcevich, and number 39, Corey Lyons. And into the team comes Kadeen Coleman, 51, and 53, Bruce Revel. So 2 youngsters there, one a 19-year-old, he's played every game, and an 18-year-old. And for Redland, it's Boyd Bailey, number 35, who's out, and Dan Fleming, boy from Maroochydore, gets another opportunity.
And I think we've got a debutant in Liam Dwyer for Redland as well, is that right?
Yeah, look, I'm unaware of him playing at NEAFL level before. He's injured all last year, and come over from Alex Hills. He's a big, tall boy, so we wish him all the best in his NEAFL debut.
Well, we're about to get underway here at the Gabba. It's round 13, first versus 9th. They are bouncing the ball just adjacent to the mark centre circle, and that one will be brought back, so it's a bit of an anti-climax there. Umpire probably not really ready for that grassy area as opposed to the hard centre wicket, so he throws it up now. Gets us underway properly. Malone, that's hit out number 520 for the season. Stephen just puts it inside forward 50. Eagles drop what he should have taken. Payne, he mops up, and that's Adams. First look at him on his home deck here at the Gabba. Redland, they put it back into the path. Batty Simmons, wrapped up by Keys. Good work there, and they'll bring it out. Salter, little cheap kick inside forward 50. Payne just puts it back with interest. And over the back, well armed by Stallard. He's been a much improved player, Bob, this year.
Yeah, certainly a very good player. He's come from Jindalee and Kenmore and through Mount Gravatt, and he's been a very good defender for him.
So Baker with the ball, little short one, finds Salter. He's happy to go straight away. Up towards Cars. He couldn't take it, just spinning out of trouble there. Well done by Hinge. Now to Payne, and they're away here. Jacob Allison, they have players loose on the far side. The man with it is Louis Taylor, looking and assessing things. Takes a bounce while he does so. Little chipping ball finds James Madden. The boy from Ireland. Of course, they'll be watching over in the wee hours of the morning there, or at night. And Bastanak finds Louis Taylor. Now, no matter where you're watching, thanks for joining us on Bar TV as Hinge takes the mark. Left from Taylor. Quick handball. Matheson. First inside forward 50 for Brisbane, and pushing back and doing it well with Stephen Mills.
Yeah, good contested mark there from Stephen Mills, showing a lot of courage. He's been to a lot of clubs, a lot of football. Southport, a Rockhampton boy, then to Southport, and then over to Perth. So he's found his home here at Redland.
Well travelled, fair to say. Frequent flyers. Yagmore with the ball. Generally good by foot. Dangerous kick, but does well. Finds Hamilman, the former Lion. They've one outside, streaming down the line. Adrian Williams it is. The dual Dowling medalist. And that's a nice kick inside forward 50. Finds Cars, and he's got one short. And that's Sol Cormick. Good build-up there by Redland.
Yeah, fantastic work. Started with a good contested mark from Stephen Mills and a bit off a great kick there. Yagmore didn't quite hit it the way he wanted, but Hamilton was good enough to take that real key mark in the corridor area, which is so crucial.
Sol Cormick, the boy from up Sunshine Coast, started his junior football at Nambour, the Nambour Blues, and just pulls it across the face, just faded across there. No breeze per se, so it's just really a skill error that didn't see the first goal on the board. Allison will bring it back in. Short one finds Taylor. Happy to give it back to Allison there on the burst. Loves a good run. Well done there by Cormac. Just got in the way of the kick and then just tries to spot a target. Couldn't find one. Gives it to another Sunshine Coaster in Payne. Eventually, works for the opposition. Eventually the Lions will come away with it. Keys on his non-preferred. Does it well though. Finds Robertson. Kick in the middle of the ground is a good one. Finds Hinge. Hinge. There's a man there, and that's well done there by Eli Smith to take the mark. I thought he might have found a bit more body contact in that marking contest.
Yeah, nice kick there from Mitch Hinge, though, wasn't it? Just gave Eli Smith every chance of just putting the Dukes up and taking a strong mark, and he should, he'll definitely get a score from there. Whether he is accurate, we'll wait and see.
Been out of action for a little while the last few weeks, Eli Smith. Shows a bit of rust with that kick. So scores level. We've played some 4 1/4 minutes of this first quarter. And we're one apiece as Yagmore brings the ball back in. Generally a prodigious kick of the football, and that's not a bad one. Goes to the outer side. Malone buffeted off the ball. Archie Smith gets involved, as does Bastanak there with the kick. Well done there by Fullerton. Best game at NEAFL level last week. Captain today as well. Chips it into Jacob Allison. He can just about line this up.
Yeah, he's within. Oh, he's not going to have a go.
No, he just chips the ball up. Malone at the... it was Williams at the back, but the man at the front will be paid the mark, which is fair enough, despite Adrian Williams' protest, and it'll go to James Madden.
Cardinal error from a backman, isn't it, Kanga? Don't punch. If you don't punch from behind, that's what can happen, and he can dispute it all he likes, but man in front, the smaller man, did a very good job there.
Yeah, I had the binoculars there on that one, and it's hard to argue. So the man from County Dublin does well, puts the first one on the board in this game. Well done to James Madden. The Lions are away. They're now 1-1-7. Redland, one behind. We've played 5 1/2 minutes of this first quarter.
That's what I really like what Mitch Hahn and the coaching staff have done with this group this year. He's played most of his NEAFL, most of this NEAFL season as a defender, running defender, picking up the smalls in the back half of the Lions, and now they've moved him obviously up into a scoring opportunity as a half forward or as a crummer. So they're educating these players in both facets or both areas of the ground, and that's important if they're going to go up and play senior footy. So well done to the coaching staff, and a good start there for James Madden.
Ball back in the middle. Lions just with 3 on the bench at the moment, waiting for Bruce Revell to appear. He's a late call-up with Sam Skinner. A late withdrawal out of this side. Ball just ricocheted. Joyce handles it, but then it's taken the ground. He's gone. So good tackle there. Yagmore wins the free kick. Off that left. Out towards Damien Stephen. Shimmies back inside and then kicks a little worm burner. Wasn't the best because Hinge mops it up. Waxes with Joyce. Payne just kicks it into the man on just in front of him. Ball ricochets over the line. Straight in the Lions bench. The ball will be thrown in. Smith and Malone. Malone had front spot, does it well. Batty Simmons, quick kick inside, a little bit indiscriminate, under a bit of pressure. Eagles catches a player high, and that is Caleb Franks, so he'll take the free kick. Just slipped up a bit high, and I think Franks was a little bit happy to go to his knees to try and earn that one as well. The Selwood shrug.
Yeah, look, he's had an improved season, hasn't he? Has he handballs across to Batty Simmons?
And that he does. And Batty Simmons off a couple of steps. Just fires away. Bit of poor checking there by the Lions defence. And had Yagmore coming past as well, and we know he can bomb it. So they've kicked it behind. 2 points playing 1-1-7. Jacob Allison goes long, out of sight of the ground. On there, nice mark there by Wooler. Very good set of hands generally. Short one finds Jack Payne. There's Eli Smith there, so just edging the ball down the boundary line, out of side. It's making me use my binoculars a lot at the moment. Bring it out to this side, be much easier. Smith tried to edge Malone under the ball, but couldn't do so well enough to take the mark. It spills out of bounds.
I was going to say Caleb Franks is very much improved player. He seems to have found his feet at NEAFL level, former Lions Academy product.
Malone again dumped on that occasion was McFadgen. Ball stuck under plenty.
It's no mean feat dumping McFadgen. He'd be about 93 kilos too.
He's a big lump of a young fellow. He's going to keep developing. Well done by Batty Simmons. Gets it to Miller. Roosts it high. Eagles was there, just edged under the ball by Hamilman, but the Lions will still come away with it anyway. That's a nice kick to Cedric Cox. Let's pick up who that one was.
I think it was Keys.
It was on his preferred left. He just measured it beautifully.
That's one area of his game that he's had to work on, and you saw one here on the boundary line on his opposite side. He would have struggled with that one as in previous years too, so worked very hard, Ben Keys.
So Cedric Cox, ultra talented, just lays off that ball and slices it a little. McFadgen couldn't take the mark, and players are happy to let the ball go over the boundary line so they can reset. So not a lot of excitement in this first 10 or so minutes of the game. Bastanak keeps it in. Moves it around. Joyce just tries to get it in the path of a teammate. Can't quite do so because the numbers arrive. Now Keys emerges with it. Centres the ball. They line up. Smith just shrugs one off. Gives it to Allison. A bit of space around the corner. Won't get the distance. And just there mopping it up and doing well was the Redland defence. And he might have gone out of bounds, did he? Or he's just been asked to...
he went the wrong side of the point post, I think.
Okay. And the umpires just brought it back. It was Kennelly. So he'll bring it in. Walker had enough of it. The ball just sat up, and Batty Simmons, he just was a step ladder. Allison just centres the ball. Joyce over the back. Redland come away with it now. A little bit of space. Cameron, they just put it in front of him. He does well, but he's got nothing else on. Gives it off to the run of Christensen. He just loads it up and misses. It was a good build-up, a bit of slingshot work. Doesn't quite come off.
Yeah, good call, Kanga. It was great work, and it was a fantastic kick and a great mark for Clay Cameron. He's under pressure, 2 defenders on him. And a good handball, but just unfortunately for Redland, just wide of the stick.
Eagles. Robertson did well there with Fleming. Late inclusion for Boyd Bailey. Dangerous kick in the middle of the ground. Only found Miller. Goes up towards Aaron Christensen. A little short ball. Just emerging with it now is Dads. Towards goal. And just across the face. So inaccurate kicking have cost Redland here early. They've had some decent chances to be in front.
Certainly have, yeah. 4 shots at goal. They've all been gettable. So, yeah, it would have been a nice start. 4 goals straight, but unfortunately, yet to register an accurate shot.
Joyce goes a short one, finds Wooler, working right up the ground. A short one to Robinson. He'll be looking for a better conveyance of the football this time. Sits it up, but it gets to Walker before Aaron Christensen gets there. There's one short in Eagles. A little bit of a game of chess here, trying to find a path forward. Eagles kick doesn't find Matheson. Hamilman's there, but he can't control it. Dads comes through, just on hands and knees. Coleman was there, just trying to affect either a tackle or possession. Eagles goes through. Ball's just in amongst plenty. Matheson emerged with it and then got a handball back from Eli Smith. Dangerous kick across the face, but does it well. Finds Bastanak, and now they're away if they can get it over the top. Taylor. Under the pressure of Franks. Gives it off to Payne. Down the outer side of the Gabba. Well, it's half forward. Cedric Cox is the one close there, but the kick just drifted over the boundary line, and Peter Yagmore will take the free kick for out of bounds on the full. Don't look quite on the boil yet, Brisbane, do they, Bob?
No, they're trying to be a bit too cute with their disposal, I think, instead of just wheeling and going and running into space. But full credit to Redland.
Absolutely. Adams went down the line. Yagmore went off the ground. Keys wasn't sure where it was, and then coming through there was Fullerton. Out under pressure. Williams can mop up for Redland. McGannon now to Salter. And they have the run here, although unable to take it, is Cunnington. Under pressure now. Eli Smith tackled him, but he held on too long. So the advantage taken by Billy Johnson. A short one. Finds Keneally. And there's Sal Cormac right on forward 50. I don't think he's got the distance there, so he's going to have to assess an option. Just sits the ball up. 3 Lions defenders were right there against 1 Bombers player. And it was too easy. Hinge. That was very interesting. He tried to rush the ball. And I think, for me, he's lucky to get away with that, because I
think it hit the bloke's leg and then went through and hit the post.
No, I'm not so sure.
No, it looked a bit sus, didn't it?
I think he had only one objective there. The ball ends up on the outer wing and the kick in. And it was Kadeen Coleman. In fact, it was Cedric Cox running onto it. Notice Bruce Revell now on the bench. They're strapping his ankles on the bench. Just arrived at the Gabba, suited up. Good tackling effort there on the outer side.
Played a full game yesterday, was that correct, Kanga? Him and Kadeen Coleman, I think, both played yesterday, so they're late call-ups.
Yeah, that's right. So you'd suggest they'll be seeing limited game time, but you can't knock back an opportunity to have a run on the Gabba, can you? Wooler stuck underneath him, so umpire will ball it up. This ball spills out the back. Mills is there as well. I think I'd still suit up and have a run if it was on the Gabba as well, Bob.
No doubt. Great venue.
Archie Smith took the ball out of the ruck. Stallard just collided with an opponent. The ball to the commentary wing. It was Payne, just puts it up, does well because he finds fellow Sunshine Coaster in Tom Fullerton. There's Keys in the pocket. Yagmore did enough. It's been good this year, Peter Yagmore, in what's been a difficult season with just the 2 wins so far.
Yeah, look, he and Williams and Malone would be their 3 standouts, I think, so far this year. But he's been very resolute every game in defence and kicking the ball beautifully.
There's the ability to play a bit taller. Well on there by Archie Smith. Got it to Bastanak. It looked like a beautiful set play, but just couldn't finish it as the ball just went across the face. So 1-2-8. Brisbane, 5 points. Redland. Mills goes to the outer side. Player out there in Billy Johnson. Unmistakable orange fluorescent boots. Likewise with some fluorescent yellow numbers is Mitch McGannon. He's down the wing. Able to take it was Wooler. He had front spot. Ball at ground level. Just plucked out by Franks. I'll give it away. Miller has it now. Inside forward 50 again. Over the back is Aaron Christensen. And he has a target just inside. Finds Sol Cormick. And Cormick absolutely butchers it. There's no other way to describe that than that was just a brain explosion.
Yeah, great work, Christensen. He centred the ball in a perfect spot, 30 metres out, directly in front. He could have gone back and taken his time, but rushed again. And there should be 3 or 4 goals in front, Redland.
Well, they've certainly played well enough, haven't they? The Lions try and bring it out. McFadgen, who got it from Hinge. A short one in board, finds Bastanak. Now they'll go to the outer side if they can. Walker underneath the ball. There's a couple of players there. One of over the top. The initial Lions players was Matt Eagles waiting. Still at half back outer side. Robinson makes a lead for him and is honoured with a nice kick. Short one inside, but he'll go down the line. He finds a player there.
Eli, I think.
Eli Smith. Kicks to a big contest, and running onto it and doing it nicely was Bastanak. Handball inside. Fullerton's there, under pressure. Good pressure there by Redland. Mitch McGannon it was. So well done by the Redland defence. They've held up nicely.
Yeah, the boy from Fish Creek showed some real closing speed there, didn't he? Good effort.
And he did. Of course, Fish Creek. Talk about that in a minute. Hinge gets around one. Goes on the left and gets it through. So just turnover at the wrong time there for Redland. And a little bit further for goal, and good enough to make advantage or take advantage of it was Mitch Hinge. He's been in and out of the senior side. Bob, he's had opportunity, of course, debuting this year, but there's a bit about him.
Yeah, no, really improved player, isn't he? Probably one of the most improved players on their list. And his kicking today has been excellent. And probably had 4 or 5 possessions. Every one of them's counted, and that was a beautiful finish. Everyone on the park so far has missed shots they probably shouldn't have missed, and he was that far out that was a really good shot on the run from 50, and a good finish.
He's at 8 disposals. 2 inside 50s and now a goal. Payne's had 8 disposals as well. Jacob Allison 7. Bastanak also 7. While on the other side, Petty Yagmore, he's had 6, and Sol Cormick and Batty Simmons have had 4 apiece. Beautiful bounce to the middle there. Give that one to Archie Smith. Batty Simmons, quick little handball up. Franks inside forward 50 and finds Fleming. Just led at the ball and was delivered nicely.
Good work in the centre clearance area. That's 2 or 3 times now they've moved the ball well directly from the centre clearance, and Franks really got the spurt on there, and good hands out to him from Batty Simmons and Fleming. Let's hope they finish and kick a goal here. They deserve one.
I gave Franks credit he didn't deserve because it was Baker with the kick. So my apologies to both men. As Fleming comes in and kicks another behind. So that is 7 shots on goal for no reward in the goal column. 7 behinds, playing 2-3-15 as the Lions are look to take it away again. Walker goes long down the line. Working his player under the contest was Robertson, but illegally so, says the umpire. Pushing the back in the marking contest. Play on, that was advantage. They butcher that one. Fullerton doesn't quite find Keys, but he bats it into the path of McFadgen. McGannon's there to try and do something for the Bombers. Madden on hands and knees. Gets it up to Robertson, who goes towards Berry. Haven't seen much of him. Now Cedric Cox in the pocket. Puts it up. Keys was the target. Baker did well there. Provide the pressure. Their advantage didn't work out for them at all, the Bombers.
Got some leg speed, Carlin Baker, hasn't he? He's really puts the pedal to the metal there when he takes off, and showed good closing speed on Keys then.
The margin 8 points. Ball will be thrown back in. Fullerton with the leap, but Malone with the bulk. Keys on his non-preferred does well. Not enough pressure around the contest there from the Bombers. And Ben Keys on the non-preferred got the finish.
Mentioned his improvement with his disposal. He's really had to work hard on that. It's one area of his game that he's always been able to find the footy right through his junior days at Morningside, through the Queensland 16s and 18s. Was a prolific ball winner, but just need to improve that skill with his finishing. And that was a beautiful kick on his non-preferred right foot.
So the Lions, they push out to 3-3-21. The Bombers 7 behind. And as we said, even now, the Bombers should have been in front. And they find themselves 14 points adrift. And we've played 23 and a half minutes of this first quarter. Smith went early, got onto it, goes again. Puts into the path of Bassanak, who in turn just releases Louis Taylor. Up towards forward 50. Madden did well, did very well. Off to Matheson quickly. And that's a good kick, finds Connor McFadgen.
Yeah, can't stop that. That was just good ball movement, wasn't it? And the problem they got now, Redland, is that instead of having their tails up and being a bit bubbly and buoyant, they've probably got their tails down now and wondering, gee, what can we do here to stop this onslaught?
So McFadgen. Tight angle. Come and shoot it. Looked very unconventional off the boot, I think is a nice way to say it. And just went across the face and lucky to score in the finish. So they move out to 3-4. 22. Redland 7 behind. McGannon comes to the commentary side of the ground. Right on there by the Redland big men. Fleming in there, applies the pressure. They just keep the ball going forward. Cameron gets it up now. Cormick, now to Stephen. Looking for Dwyer, who's there. But Hinge was there a little bit quicker. Knocked the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, good defence. But it was a smart kick, actually. He was the only forward they had, and he was deep in the pocket, but at least they can get a stoppage here and have a chance to reset and see if they can get one around the packs here.
Falls a bit short, that throw. Malone just tried to put it to the back, but Cedric Cox got on the end of it. Bastanak, Taylor just couldn't take it with him. The handball wasn't as good as it could have been, but Taylor will get it back again now. Bastanak, Eli Smith. Just gives it the heave-ho. 1-on-1 contest. Well on there by Mills. Over the back. And the ball's harmlessly goes out of bounds.
He's another player that's had an improved season, Stephen Mills, in that back half for them. Last year he would have got knocked out of the way there and would have been a mark to McFadgen, but he uses his body much better now.
Uncontested, Malone. Down to Stephen. Just gets it to forward 50. Keys look to be pushed for mine. Coleman couldn't take it with him, but then applies the tackle. Well done, Kadeen Coleman. Nomination for the NEAFL Rising Star Award. Put the tackle on the coach of Redland in Phil Cars. Throw up there, Malone. To down. Mills. He's hurt himself when he kicked that ball too. And Cars is dispossessed. Well done there by Coleman again. Worn him like a glove. And Mills has not got up there, and I reckon he's a knee or a hamstring. So it's very disappointing for him. Meanwhile, in the play, as Marcus Adams got it from Allison. Sits it up, and luckily Taylor was there. Gives it to Jacob Allison. He loves this situation generally, but on this occasion just pushes it out to the right.
They're going to have to call for a stretcher, I think. I don't think he can get up.
Oh, look out. Umpire's going to just about hit him.
that would have helped.
And they still have not seen the injured player.
The photographer's there. She could give him a lift up.
Yeah, that's right. So we'll keep our eyes on the play here for a moment. Fleming. It's ball going down the line. Nice kick, finds Salter. Over the top. Well in there by Cameron. Just beat Walker, but was dispossessed by Madden. But Franks gets back onto it, and then Cars. He was pushed as he kicked it. That should have been a free kick, and now the umpire says yes, it is. So the ball will come back. And now we've got somebody attending to Mills. He's getting back up, but that looks like a knee to me.
Well, can Phil Carr stop the bleeding here and put their first one through? 7 points in a row. Can it be 1-7?
Leave it to the coach. In fact, everything starts with the coach, they say. In this case, it's an epidemic. They have the yips, put it in golf parlance. 8 behinds in this first quarter. And the Lions have had 3 goals, 5, so they've had 8 scoring shots. Interestingly, Stephen Mills is up running again. I think he's trying to run to the bench because he was sick of waiting for everybody to come and actually attend to him. Is he staying out in the ground even?
It's a strange one. It looked as if he was shot. Couldn't even get up onto his feet, so now he looks okay.
Malone gets a tap away. Joyce. Little one around the corner, had enough purchase on it. Robertson came out to meet it and just thumped it almost in the way of Cox, who in turn, just a little chipping ball inside forward 50, finds Bastanak. Just wonder if it was the old dislocated kneecap or something like that, where he's hit something back into place.
Well, it certainly couldn't have been cramp, that's for sure. We're just on quarter time. So
after the siren, we're going to have Ryan Bastanak kicking for goal. Comes in from 45 metres and pulls it across the face. So the score at quarter time will be Brisbane Lions 3-6-24 to the Redland Bombers 8 behinds. So the margin will be 16 points. It's fair to say we have beautiful conditions, no wind. We've had 3 goals and 14 behinds, Bob. Go figure.
Well, how could you figure that? And most of them, I would have thought 6 of Redland's 8 shots at goal there should have been sodas, I would have thought. They weren't far out and very gettable goals. The Lions had probably more shots that were probably further out and maybe on an angle. But look, Redland playing pretty well all over the ground. We just can't, when it gets towards the goal square there, they just cannot finish. And that's going to come back to haunt them, I think. But Brisbane Lions, I'm sure their coaching staff wouldn't be too happy with that first quarter. There were just parts of it that they didn't man up that well when Redland had the footy.
Going through the motions is probably something I'd suggest. But, Redland, to their credit, they actually played pretty well. They just couldn't make it count on the scoreboard. Leading possession getters, Jacob Allison had 11. Also Bastanak there with 11, while Payne had 9 and Hinge had 8. Yagmore leads Redland with 6 disposals, all kicks. Cormick had 5. And no goals 2, I might add. 2 absolute sodas he missed. Batoli Simmons has 5 as well. Overall possessions 107-67 Brisbane's way. We might take a break and come back with you as the players get some messages at quarter time. This is NEAFL TV. Thanks to our broadcast partner, Bar TV. Back shortly. As we have the dulcet tones of Sia in the background. It's quarter time here at the Gabba. This is round 13 on NEAFL TV. Thanks to our broadcast partner, Bar TV. And at quarter time is the Brisbane Lions. They held sway there, 3-6-24. They are 16-point leaders over the Bombers, 8 behinds. Inaccurate kicking is ordinary football. And Bob Batty, joining myself, Mark Kennedy. Bob, the Bombers were good and showed some real fight, but just could not finish off their good work.
No, couldn't get near a goal, could they? Every time they had opportunities directly in front, Cormac, Cass, could go name about 3 or 4 others, all had opportunities and missed.
Beautiful bounce in the middle of the Gabba, or almost the middle of the Gabba. Miller didn't get any purchase on a kick, and Bastanak takes control of it, has a bounce, and it gets it out towards McFadden. The bounce eludes him. Stallard coming the other way, just gives it the heave-ho, down for Cormac. Hinge affected to spoil, but Franks is there at ground level. Turns, delivers nicely to Cars, who in turn gives it to Stephen. Inside forward 50. And good build-up there, finds Aaron Christensen. So excellent work there by the Bombers.
Yeah, it came from Stallard, didn't it? Got an ordinary bounce, McFadden, but good work, Stallard. Kicked it long, and then some good link-up play. Now this will probably be their toughest shot for goal. He'll probably put this through.
So Aaron Christensen comes in. And Bob Batty, he picked it nicely. The law of averages gets Redland their first goal of the game. It took a quarter and 9 shots on goal to be there, but they finally done it, so well done. And they move to 1 goal, 8-14. Brisbane Lions, 3-6-24. We've played 1.5 minutes of the second quarter.
Yeah, look, they're winning the clearances from the centre bounce, and as you said, the umpire's been bouncing that ball beautifully, and Tiny Malone's really jumping into Archie Smith and doing a good job, and their ground level players are Batty, Simmons, Miller, Damien Stephen. These blokes are winning the ball at ground level, which is a good effort, and they deserve that goal.
So hit-outs are going Redland's way 8-5. All of them with Malone, and clearances are about square. Malone does the work at ground level this time. Off towards Damien Stephen. And that's nice work to link up with Baker. Baker just wheels around. Inside
Nice
forward
kick.
50, and that was a lovely kick. You called it well, Bob. And Aaron Christensen, he can have a shot and kick 2 in the best part of a minute.
Well, his confidence would be up. Certainly be no problems with that. That was a beautiful kick from Caelan Baker, boy from North Launceston, first year in the NEAFL, and was a premiership player for North Launceston in 2017.
So from 40 metres, Aaron Christensen likes it. So 2 in a row for Christensen, 2 in a row for the Bombers. And there's a little bit of pluck, a little bit of fight. And all of a sudden, the game is just 4 points. The Lions still lead 3-6-24 to 2-8-20.
They've been winning the ball at ground level now, Tiny Malone. Not only won the hit out, but the ball bounced back the other way, and he got the handball out wide. And good, beautiful kick from Caelan Baker. He's playing on Nick Robertson on this far wing. They've got plenty of space with that centre circle, a little bit skew whiff in the middle. And that was a lovely kick, and Christensen, good finish.
Go again. Redland making a little charge here. Nice bounce yet again. Malone. Nice, got it at the back. Archie Smith just flicked it over the top. Going his way, but Miller mops it up for Redland. Off to Salt. A little chipping ball. Finds Dadds. So Ryan Dadds. The one out wider. Damien Stephen it is. Dangerous kick. Batty Simmons had to fly but couldn't bring it down. Robertson tries to put it in the path of a teammate but only found Baker. Inside forward 50, and well done there. Just going with across the face of the pack there was Hinge. Or chipping ball finds Robertson. They've been lively, haven't they, Redland?
Yep,
They haven't lost confidence after kicking 8 behinds in a row.
No, certainly are in the contest.
Walker goes to the outer side, finds Taylor. Handball over the top to Bastanak. In turn, another finds Joyce. Chipping ball finds the lead of Cox, who gives it off quickly. Bastanak again. Little ball that time, hit the deck, so see what Redland can do. That's a nice ball by Salter. Picked it up and kicked it nicely and quickly. Eventually it ends up with Clay Cameron. Stallard. Now Yagmore. Generally good by foot. Over the back it goes. Eagles was just pushed under a little bit. Hamilman. Little ball under pressure. Gets it inside. Franks is there. Don't think the handball's intended for Cars, but he took it anyway. And his handball couldn't quite find the target. Allison cleans it up towards the players in McGannon and Keys. No clear winner in that occasion. McGannon does well. Handball inside to Yagmore. Oh, nice little ball, finds Baker. They've held on nicely. Off to Cormick. Now to Yagmore. And that kick is not his best effort. And finds Allison. Former teammates, so they'll know each other well. As Hamilman gave away the 50 and just collected Allison, so no angst amongst it. So Jacob Allison taken to the centre of the ground. Plays on straight away. Inside forward 50 it goes. Just emerging with it was Berry round the corner. Which way is it bouncing? It's bouncing through. Bounced over the top of a very despondent Damien Stephen and the Lions. They get their first of the quarter and their fourth of the game. And a lucks of fortune there with Berry's goal.
Yeah, very lucky kick around the corner. It could have gone skew whiff and gone out through the points, or landed in the safe hands of Damien Stephen, bounced straight over his scone and right through the middle. So, yeah, good work from the Lions. It was ill discipline from one of their senior players in Matthew Hamilman from Redland that cost them the 50. And Jacob Allison's getting plenty of it. I like the work that he and Mitch Hinge down back have been doing very well for Brisbane, and like Payne's work too in that first quarter. So look, their defence is holding up okay, but Redland have helped by kicking so poorly.
So the margin back out to 10 points. Played 7 minutes of this second quarter. Archie Smith went early and Malone got it down. Ball with Damien Stephen, faked one way and then gave what is a dangerous kick across inside the centre square, and Cox comes down with it. It's out wide. Eli Smith feeds it back to Keys. He's guarded there by Baker, just doesn't do enough to corral him, and then Keys has got enough space to deliver to Bastanak in the pocket. It was a bit poor physically there from Baker, who's been very good so far in this game.
Yeah, he and Dad they should have corralled him a little bit better there, Keys, but good kick and a tough shot from out there, but you never know.
So Ryan Bastanak, the former Kangaroo, is passing it off now. Does so nicely. So a little bit of poor checking. Finds Eli Smith there, so we'll see what Eli can do. The boy from Westbrook up in Yarrawonga. Goes with the check side and just to the near side. One behind, margin 11 points.
Yeah, an interesting story, Eli Smith. He was through the Giants Academy for most of the time until AFL changed that ruling on the Riverina, and then went to the Murray Bush Rangers and was taken in the draft by the Brisbane Lions. I think I'm picking it was around 2021.
There's a good mark there by Walker. He's the one that eventually launches it back inside forward 50 on there. And that's 50 metres. It'll go against Berry. Just tried to guard the mark well enough, and Adrian Williams will be the beneficiary. Took a good mark and then got a bit of extra meterage for his troubles. So just behind centre, Adrian Williams is. Chipping ball, finds Kennelly. Now to Yagmore. And that's a nice ball and finds Clay Cameron, who led on the angle, but I think Yagmore just almost willed him to run into that spot and delivered it on a dime.
Yeah, beautiful kick, Yagmore. The one previous, he'd like to call that one back on this half-forward line, but that's a beautiful kick and something he can do very, very well. Always been a lovely kick.
We had 11 kicks, Peter Yagmore, no handballs, but if you could kick it like that, why would you handball? So Clay Cameron, the former Gold Coast Sun, comes in, 45-degree angle, 40 metres out, and likes it. So they've started to convert on the scoreboard. Kicked 3 straight in this quarter now. Margin back to just 5 points. And it's through some real energising play. They haven't lost heart after kicking 8 points, and they keep on coming, which has been a very good sign for this football club.
Yeah, look, full credit to Redland. They're playing with some passion, and certainly I give full credit to all their midfielders too. They're Batty, Simmons, Stephen, Miller. They've all having a crack in there, and Malone's been getting his hand on the footy. And Matheson, Robertson, Berry, all these blokes that are in there for Brisbane Lions, got to lift their game. They're getting their pants pulled down around their ankles at the centre clearance at the moment.
That's right. So clearance is going Redland's way 10-8. And hit-outs 10-5 Redland's way. So Malone's doing a good job in there as well. Matheson emerges. That's a nice handball. Finds the run of Allison. Long ball. McFadgen's there. Good spoil there by Stallard. Redland emerged with it though. Batty, Simmons. Salter. Got rid of it just in time. Up towards player Fleming, but Eagles with the spoil. Matheson again. Eagles comes through. Met heavily by Salter, who bounced off the big man, Eagles. And the kick has gone out of bounds on the fall from the Lions, and I notice Eagles just go straight off, and I think he's winded himself. Come off second best there. Tommy Salter, the veteran.
Yeah, the Eagle has landed there. Good work, Salter, and good mark there from Hamilman.
Hamilman gives it off Cormick. Just can't quite grasp it. Got the ball at ground level. Needs to get rid of it quickly. Couldn't just take it with him. Then just toes it on, hoping for a teammate to get with it. On there by Johnson, but he just can't emerge from it. And we'll have a ball up inside forward 50.
Just that one fumble for Cormac there. Otherwise, he was away and racing towards goal.
It was just a fingertipper, wasn't it? Just couldn't quite take it. Archie Smith, quick kick. Only finds Mills. Made a miracle recovery after a first quarter. Looked like he'd hobbled himself. And his kick finds the Dead-Eye Dick of the NEAFL competition as far as goal kicking goes in Matthew Hamilman, the leading goal kicker in 2018. And so far in 2019, I think, too.
Yeah, he's in hot form with his kicking for goal, so this shouldn't give any trouble distance-wise. And as you said, they've kicked 3 straight. Can they make it 4 in a row?
Very familiar with these circumstances. Played here with the Brisbane Lions, of course. From 48 metres out, give a bloke a rap, let you down.
Certainly so. It was a funny matchup. He was on, the way the ball came in there was Bruce Revel. It looked like he was matching up. So Lions are zoning off there, and they want to be a bit careful in the back half.
Jacob Allison speeds away from the goal square. Does it well. Is it off to Joyce. Now to the run of Madden. Jeez, he's quick.
Lightning.
He is. McFadgen. Now to Eli Smith. And all of a sudden the ball is 60 metres out from goal. Now inside forward 50. Berry's there, having a forward roll today. Ball spoiled away from him on that occasion. The ball out of bounds. Forward pocket.
Had a few quiet players, haven't they, the Lions? Toby Willers hasn't bothered the statisticians too much. You mentioned Joyce. He's been a bit quieter, and so has also Tom Berry.
Yeah, Berry's just had the one touch so far. Archie Smith. Robertson. Plenty of players around the contest again. Robertson throws it out. Play on's the call, though. Eli Smith gets it off to Adams, and Adams' kick around the corner finds McFadgen. He's kicked it looking for rain, no chance of that. Plenty of bodies in in the square, but McGannon emerges with it. And then Robertson takes a nice mark, and he can put it back in if he so chooses. Elects to go short and finds Matheson instead. A lot of players inside forward 50. Loads it up. Goes long, right to the goal line. And the Redland defence were good enough to knock it over and concede the behind. So the margin now 5 points in favour of the Lions as Yagmore puts it back in. Just finds Salter. He goes well. Clay Cameron, he had 2 to beat. Matt Eagles came over the back. And then goes again. Recovered from collision there with Tom Salter earlier in the quarter.
Marcus Adams giving Eagles a bit of a clap there for the nice punch from behind. It's Marcus Adams' 26th birthday today. He's an EOFY, born on the 30th of June.
End of financial year special. Matheson plays for the free kick. Berry just handballed it to Yagmore. A little quick kick out. Baker couldn't take it. Coleman just bunted it his way. Madden in the path of Eli Smith. Now gathers, gives it to Madden. Puts the skates on again, and then settles, clears, goals. Is that a glimpse of what I think is an AFL player in the future, Bob? Is a man from County Dublin who's learning his craft, but some of his athletic attributes certainly make him elite.
Oh, his speed, isn't it? Like, we saw him on the back flank take off there before, and there's scorch marks over on that wing where he took off. It was... brilliant burst of speed, and he showed it again then. He was involved twice. He got the tap out towards Eli Smith, and Eli Smith knocked it back to him, and he finished beautifully. That's the one area of his game he's got to keep working at, is his kicking, but that was a lovely finish. So well done, James Madden.
So the Lions move to 5-8-38. Redland, 3-9-27. You can certainly see why the Lions recruited James Madden. Fullerton uncontested. No, the umpire will bring that back. So James Madden, 2 goals. And well, kicked the first one of the game. And then by Malone, gets it out. Keneally just toes it forward. Allison does likewise. Berry, middle of the ground. Wobbling ball, forward 50, good set of hands there from Robertson, just clunked it in front of Dads. We'll go back and shoot for goal.
It's 2 strong pack marks in a row for Robertson. He's been down on a bit of confidence and form. Those 2 marks should lift him, and he should get the distance here. It'll be right on his limit, I would have thought.
He's going to have to kick it from all of 50 metres. Slow, deliberate approach. Gives it a ride. And yes, gets it there. So the Lions just starting to click into gear here a little bit. The top side on the table, undefeated in season 2019. Kicked their 6th. And they skipped 17 points clear. 6-8-44, 3-9-27. We've played approaching the 18-minute mark, at least, of the second quarter here.
Yeah, look, they've responded well in that midfield. Matheson's come off the bench around about the time that Redland had got within a few points, and he's been involved in a couple of clearances, and certainly they've lifted around the footy, and they've always had opportunities going forward, but they're finishing off pretty well. It was a beautiful kick from Robertson.
So Robertson, a boy from WA, West Perth. Joondalup. The Lions will come away with it again all of a sudden. A few clearances going their way. Berry got it from Matheson, and that is, I was going to say, that's a good mark to Eli Smith, but not paid by the umpire. Goes again. It's it out to Robertson, who just tapped it down to McFadgen, and there's another one. Good team goal. And the benefits, and there's a little bit of a stink on there. A bit of tempers frayed. It doesn't take away from the fact that was a good goal by McFadgen.
Great team goal, wasn't it? Eli Smith nearly took a great mark in the pack. That was, a really confidence-boosting effort. And then he got the the ball out the side, and instead of grabbing the ball, there's a tap on. Now, who was it? Robertson? I think it was Robertson.
Robertson.
And there's a free kick now. They're just losing
kick.
the pot here a bit, Redland.
And that
silly.
is a free kick to
Walker,
Josh Walker and goes against Adrian Williams. So clearly frustration has boiled over. And for all the good work that Redland have done here in this game so far, that is a very disappointing outcome.
Yeah, look, it was disposal that cost them more shots at goal in the first quarter, and now it's their discipline.
So Walker straight in front, makes no mistake. 3 goals in all of 2 minutes. And all of a sudden, the Lions are out by 29 when less than 7 minutes ago, they trailed by 4 points.
Yeah, incredible turnaround, isn't it? It's like they've just turned the switch on, isn't it? And energised themselves. And look at them, even their defenders, the 6 defenders then ran all the way down to Josh Walker to congratulate him and tap him on the back. So it looks as if they're energised now. They didn't start energised, but that's maybe more full credit to Redland, the way they've attacked the footy in that first quarter and a half.
Not a prolific goal kicker, Josh Walker. Playing that forward role. Sam Skinner was very late withdrawal. Suspect he might get a run later on this afternoon. Archie Smith gets it down. Basnack couldn't take it. Well on there by Kennelly. It's it off to Damien Stephen, but his kick just didn't have enough on it. And Jack Payne and Phil Cars are there to chaperone the ball over the boundary line. Half forward out of side. We'll have a throw in.
Yeah, laconic approach there from Jack. He should have taken that chest mark and defended a bit more stoutly.
There by Archie Smith. Just got it down to Kennelly, who was manhandled. Would have been close to being holding the ball, not to be... Excuse me, says the umpire. Throw up on that outer side. Outer wing. Archie Smith again. Dwyer having a run in the ruck. And no Malone. And that's a push in the back for mine. And that was just a bit careless from Payne on Phil Cars. So Cars, 34 years of age, I think he is. Oh, Allison went high, couldn't come down with it. Miller got it off to Damien Stephen, and as soon as he kicked it from that pocket, he put the hands up. And that was a quality kick, quality goal. Redland get one back, and they needed to, and they pushed back to 23 points in arrears of the Brisbane Lions. They moved to 4-9-33 to Brisbane, 8-8-56.
Yeah, the ball got over the back, didn't they? Allison jumped high together with, I think it was the Eagles. They couldn't allow that ball to get over the back, and it did. Should have punched it hard forward or towards that boundary line. Well read by Damien Stephen. He's had a good first half. He's been, he and Batty Simmons in that midfield have been quite prolific for Redland, and they'll need another lift from them at this centre bounce.
We played 23 minutes of this second quarter. Malone back in the ruck, gets a hit out. Basnack can't handle it. Pressure from Franks, does well, gets it up. Keneally gets it forward. Up towards Hamilman and holds on to the mark. The hammer. You can go back and shoot for one. It's been a game of real momentum swings. And here could be another one as Hamilman has a chance to kick the second goal for Redlands in as many minutes.
Yeah, whoever's getting the ball out of that middle is obviously pumping it forward, and good mark to Hamilton, contested mark, and Eagles will be disappointed with that that effort, and the one just prior to that where he should have punched it out of bounds.
Tight angle, kicks it from 35 and likes it. So the leading goal kicker in the NEAFL has his first for the afternoon. Margin back to 17 points. And Redland hanging in there, hanging tough.
Yeah, good to see, isn't it? Could have easily, after that ill discipline up forward where Walker got that 2 goals in a minute, or even 3 in a couple of minutes, as you said, could have been heads down and lacking confidence. But full credit to Redland. They bounced back well, kicked 2 in a row, and they've got their guns in there again at this centre bounce. It was Batty Simmons that got it out the last one.
Leading possession getters for Redland. Yagmore and Stephen have 11 each. Batty Simmons next best with 8. Jacob Allison has 16 for the Lions. Bastanak 15. Eli Smith 12. Underway again. What's going to do here? Just emerging with the ball is Matheson. Kicks the ball to half forward. Ball at ground level. Dads is there. Yagmore's also there. Robertson, he scraps away as well. Joyce tries to emerge, can't do so. Got it to Archie Smith though, just swooping on it was Berry, shrugs one off and then goes in and kicks a goal. Starting to rain goals.
Well, you said 3-14 in the first quarter. It's now 14-17, so they're trying to even it up a little bit. Pretty hard to even up the Bombers scoreline when it's 0-8 initially, but well done, Thomas Berry. Said he'd been quiet, but he and Matheson have really injected themselves into the game, haven't they? They've really showed some spurt. I like the way Matheson accelerated from that centre clearance end. Normally he gets it, props and handballs. This time he accelerated, and good finish from Thomas Berry. The Berry family will be well represented today in the Brisbane Lions.
So 2 goals for him from the 5 possessions, but they've been pretty telling possessions the last few minutes. Malone down to Batty Simmons, couldn't handle it cleanly and just managed to kick it in the way of Payne and then followed up with a nice tackle. Coleman for the Lions, round the corner, doesn't quite find a target in Madden. And Scott Miller emerges for the Bombers, and Eagles had front spot and does it well. Hamilton just needed to bring the ball to ground, give them a chance.
Certainly did. Called it well, Kanga. He had some experience playing as a backman at Brisbane, so he should have known better there.
Adams, nice kick to Joyce. Over the top to Bastanak. Managing to find a fair bit of space. Lead from Eli Smith. Good spoil from Yagmore. Tackle there. It's by Fullerton. They did well. Just getting up was Cunnington.
Been very quiet again. There's been a few games we've watched this year where he not bothering the stats man too much. Needs to lift his game.
That's right. Can't disagree with that. Well done, Batty Simmons. Miller. Under pressure. Eagles went the mark. Good pressure there. Ravel. Allison. Now Adams. Cunnington can't handle the bounce. It was tough though, to be fair. Payne does well. Wooler. It's working in a shoebox there. Gets it off to Walker. Malone can't take the mark. Matheson at ground level. Feeds it out nicely to Robertson. And then the advantage paid. It was a high shot there on Matheson. But play on was the call. Or the advantage ends up Louis Taylor taking a shot for goal.
Yeah, full credit to Reece Matheson. The first quarter and a bit he probably was down in confidence and after being dropped from the senior side, but he's bounced back well in the second part of this quarter.
So Louis Taylor comes in. We're right behind that on NEAFL TV. He just hung it out to the right. Never looked likely. Margin out to 24 points. Yagmore up the middle. Eagles just crashes. Who's the opponent? Bastanak at ground level. Joyce. Now Keys from 40 metres. Pumps it through. The fist from Eagles set it up. And the runners did the rest. Finished off nicely by Ben Keys.
Great punch, wasn't it? Like we had a go at him there about 10 minutes ago for his punch that he ended up going over the back, and Stephen kicked a goal and then he got outmarked by Hamilton. But that's a good response from Matty Eagles. That punch was better than a kick, and the Brisbane Lions forwards straight onto it, and Ben Keys, that's what he does now. When he gets an opportunity to kick goals, he doesn't miss too many these days. So good finish from him, and Lions starting to get on top in a lot of positions on this ground.
Margin back out to 30 points. Redland, what can they do? Can they answer? That's a beautiful handball there from Batty Simmons to Miller, right to the goal line. It's there. Started to rain goals here at the Gabba. Nothing from the sky, but plenty through the big sticks.
Yeah, brilliant handball, wasn't it, from Batty Simmons. And Scotty Miller, he's had a good 5 minutes. He's been pushed into that midfield, usually plays as a running defender, but what a beautiful finish for a defender. He'd be saying to Phil Cast, can you put me up forward? I can kick him like that all day.
Tremendous goal. And we had 3 goals kicked in the first quarter. And as it stands so far, we've had 13 in the second.
That's what we want to see, isn't it? Beautiful conditions. Perfect day for football. Let's kick some sausage rolls. And that's what they've done.
These sides have produced high scores at the Gabba in the few times that they've met here in the past. Miller in there again, cops a high one, so he'll get up, win the free kick. As against Bastanak. Gives the ball off. From behind, they kick the ball inside forward 50. Allison under pressure. Cars couldn't take it with him. Payne applies the pressure. That's in the back, so they'll win the free kick here, and it'll go to Tom Salter. So nice little purple patch for the Bombers here.
Yeah, it's been a change of momentum again, hasn't it? After that goal from Keys and also the one from Tom Berry, you'd think their tails would be up, but it's been a response again, and Tom Salter, he's got the experience to go back and slot this.
Salter makes no mistake. And again, consecutive goals going each way. There's been a real run from both sides. And all of a sudden, margin back to 18. 3 straight kicks. Got as high as 30 earlier in the quarter. And it's been as low as 4 points as well.
Some of those Redland players, I think they'd be seeing this game as probably one of, obviously they're going to be struggling to make finals with 2 wins, 8 losses. You never know. You never give up on that opportunity. But this will be one of the highlights of the year for them, to play at the Gabba and play as a curtain raiser to an AFL game. And they've really come to play, haven't they?
It's a beautiful, pristine deck here today. Malone gets it going the Bombers' way again, although out towards the boundary line. Just collecting it nicely. There was Payne down the line from Keys. Finds Louis Taylor. Taylor on the outer side, just lobs it up, looking for a big tall target. Robertson probably wasn't the big tall target people would have thought of, but didn't take it anyway. And Baker and Williams combine. Frank supplies the pressure in the contest, then gets the handball up, does it well. Releases Christensen. Damien Stephen involved too there. Fleming underneath it. Christensen just tried to go off the deck and then took hinge high. So he wins the free kick. Plays on quickly. Jacob Allison, leading possession getter on the ground. A little short one to Joyce and a little short one inside to Eli Smith, who just sees some space and can waltz into goal. And the Lions, the momentum shift goes again. Eli Smith kicks his first, so it has been an absolute goal fest. 15 of them in this quarter. We've played 33 and a half minutes of this second quarter. The margin is 24 again.
Yeah, no, it was quick work, wasn't it? And look, Redland really, their intensity was good there when they got the ball out, but I think what they did was their defenders were relaxed a little bit, thinking that they've got it out of their defensive area and left a couple of players unmanned. Tom Joyce was one, and Eli Smith did the rest. Had no player anywhere near him whilst into goal. He's had a good first half for a player that's been out injured for a little while. He's really bounced back well today.
Underway again. We are going to have a long quarter. So many goals. Damien Stephen gives it back. Just turn it over. Kennelly. Bastanak. Right to Louis Taylor on forward 50. And a short ball finds Robertson. The turnover from Kennelly hurt. And the Lions have the ability to make it pay, as could have just goals just coming by the minute.
Yeah, good to see the Redland players get over to Kennelly and say, come on, mate, don't drop your head, lift your head up and let's win the next one. But, yeah, good finish. And Louis Taylor, that's how he likes to kick them, doesn't he? He kicks them pinpoint 20 or 30 metres and hit Robertson laces out.
So Nick Robertson comes in 30 metres out. Elementary. He kicks his second. And the margin back out to 30 points. Game high, or an equal game high. So Brisbane 12-9-81. Redland 7-9-51. 16 goals in this quarter. How about that, Bob? The two sides combined kicked 3 goals, 14 in the first quarter. And combined again in the second quarter, they've kicked 16 goals, 4.
Well, there you go. That's probably what we'd expect in conditions like this at the Gabba. They're perfect for football, and no excuses in that first quarter. I think it was just elementary errors, but they've certainly rectified both teams with their goal kicking in the second quarter.
Must be very close to half time. Almost 36 minutes gone. Keys on hands and knees. Tries to get up in the pack. Ball just squeezes out. There is that siren. And Redland will be ruining those last couple of goals from the Lions, where they've just let them extend their lead back out at the main change to 30 points. How did you see that second quarter and the first half of the game, Bob?
Well, 9 goals, 3. They kicked that quarter, the Brisbane Lions, to Redland 7-1. Look, it's been a competitive effort from Redland. They should have probably been in front at quarter time. And despite the fact that they're 5 goals or 30 points down at half time, they'll be saying, well, look, we've been in this game for majority of it. So good effort by the Lions to kick-start their game in that second quarter. They looked a little bit lacklustre, I thought, for a quarter and a bit, but they've really upped the ante in the last 20 minutes of that quarter, and 9 goals in any quarter of football is pretty good going, and they'd be just a bit disappointed they've leaked 7 down the other end.
Yeah, that's right. Leading possession getters on the ground before we have a bit of a break here. Jacob Ellison, 19 disposals. 4 inside 50s and 6 rebound 50s. Bastanak's had 18, 5 clearances for him amongst his numbers. Payne's had 14 from the back half of the ground. While Eli Smith, he's had 13 first half disposals. Robertson, Walker, Matheson have had a dozen apiece. And Yagmore leads Redland. 13 first half disposals. Damien Stephen matches him with 13 also, including a very nice goal. Batty Simmons, I've really liked the way he's gone about it so far in this quarter. 6 clearances for the game so far, and 10 disposals for him. And then Miller and Kennelly have had 9 apiece. Possessions overall going 194 to 143 Brisbane's way. Clearances going Redland's way, 19-16, and similarly hitouts 19-12. Inside 50s, 31-25 Brisbane's way. So Redland make their way off the ground. Brisbane already off. We'll take a break, and it's half time here of this round 13 clash at the Gabba. This is NEAFL TV. It is the Lions by 30 points at the main change. We'll see you after the break. Welcome back, everybody, to the Gabba. This round 13 clash of the NEAFL on NEAFL TV. Thanks for joining us here. Thanks to our broadcast partner, Bar TV, as well. It is the Brisbane Lions holding sway over the Redland Bombers by 30 points at the main change. Mark Kennedy's my name. Joining me, Bob Batty. What are we looking forward to in the second half, Bob?
Yeah, look, I need a lift from Adrian Williams, Clay Cameron, Matt Hamilton, a bit of the experienced bodies to lift here for Redland to keep them in the contest.
So Archie Smith gets it down. No clear winner in the contest in terms of the clearance at least, and we'll have a secondary stoppage. Kadeen Coleman's been iced up for the day. Message just came through to me from Brad Howard. Joyce dumped, absolutely dumped by Malone, and he'll win the free kick for holding the man. Cedric Cox provides the run from behind, drops what he should have taken, although the umpire's calling the ball back. So, quite sure why it's coming back. It'll go back to McFadden. So the hold must have been to the benefit of McFadden instead of, I thought it might have been against Malone. So McFadden, he launches the ball inside forward 50. Matheson from behind, couldn't quite take it. But he'll go again, win the ball. Nice handball off to Josh Walker, the former Cat. Can't bring it back enough. One behind results. First score of the second half, 31 points in favour of the Lions.
See what Yagmore does here, whether he goes long. He can hit that centre circle if he goes long, but I think he's looking for a shorter one.
Straight up the middle he goes. Finds Mills, the miracle man. Injured in the first quarter. We didn't think he'd be back for the day, and he was straight back out after a while. Baker finds Clay Cameron. Clay Cameron over the top of Salter. Cars is there. Well done there by Wooler. Bastanak just releases Taylor, although under a little bit of pressure. The ball further forward. McFadden gets on the skates. Into Eli Smith. And finds Robertson, who's kicked already 2 in this game. Eli Smith, I've liked the work of him.
Yeah, no, very impressive today. He's played, well, the first 2 quarters so far, been very consistent. Lions have had players in and out of the contest. He's been probably one of their most consistent with Jacob Allison.
So Nick Robertson, birthday earlier in the month, making him 24 years of age, comes in 40 metres out and just slides it just across the face. So 32 points. Who have you liked so far in this game for the Lions, Bob? Who's putting pressure on to get a game in the AFL?
Yeah, well, look, at blokes that have been consistent throughout the year, like certainly Wooler, have been a bit quiet today. So Tom Joyce had been improved, but he's been a bit quiet. So, look, I think Allison obviously being dropped has been the button for him to really arc up again today. So he'd be one of them. They'd be looking for a little bit more from Adams. He's been a bit quiet again today, but only second game back from a big injury. But, yeah, look, they've got a few to pick from.
Long layoff for Adams. Redland will try and come away. Quite break the grasp of Brisbane, who get it back again. Matheson slips over but gets the handball off. Eli Smith puts it in the path of Fullerton, but McFadden just bursts on it right to the goal line. Wooler's there and just used his body beautifully. And I took the mark, or no, the umpire hasn't paid it, or yes he has. Yes he has.
No,
In fact, he's called, no he hasn't. That's going to be a ball up. Looked like a mark to me.
Yeah, it did look from here, and it looked like he got him high as well. But anyway, the umpire was much closer.
Malone got it down to Mills. Robertson had a shot at it. Couldn't quite make connection effectively. Yagmore was wringing his hands, though. The ball spills over the line. 33 points now the margin. Joyce gets in the way, so the Lions can attack again. Here he is. Just slips underneath the tackle and then delivers nicely to Wooler, who gets it that time. And thrown to the ground by Mills. Nothing further. So Wooler was trying to get a few extra metres there as well, not to be.
Yeah, Mill's done a good job on him. I don't know whether he's been his opponent all day, but certainly he's kept him under wraps. But that was a good piece of play there from Tom Joyce, the boy we just spoke about. His form the last month, boy from East Fremantle, has been very, very good. Just a little bit quieter today.
So Wooler, just the 5 disposals today so far. Kicks it right to the goal line, and it's got the legs. So the first goal of the opening, or the second half, goes the way of the Brisbane Lions. And they extend their margin to 39 points. 13-12, 90, playing Redland, 7-9-51. And we've played all of 5 minutes of this third quarter.
Yeah, well, they haven't gone forward to the centre, Redland, in this third quarter. 1 goal, 3 already to the Lions. It's a little bit ominous. They need the next couple of goals, Redland, to edge their way back into this contest. So big pressure on here, the midfielders. Malone's got to get his hand on the ball and get it over to Batty, Simmons or Stephen and get it out of the middle.
Well, they kicked 8 points in the first quarter without a goal. Had to wait till the second quarter to get their first major on the board, Redland. So need to convert when they get the opportunity. Stephen gets it out of the middle, down towards Hamilman. Plenty of Lions defenders there. Adams just feeds the ball back to Allison. Goes out wide. Bassanak spoiled. On there by Batty Simmons, but Matheson does well, as does Archie Smith. Ball over the back. Louis Taylor. Tommy Berry. Feeds it inside. James Madden now. Sits the ball up. Walker. That was a push out though. And Adrian Williams will win the free kick for the Bombers. He goes out wide. Finds Damien Stephen. And that's not a good kick because Matheson was just there. Johnny on the spot. Short one to Louis Taylor, who in turn just chips the ball inside and finds Tommy Berry.
Just looking a little bit more switched on, aren't they, with their movement of the footy and their run to assist. And he's energised himself after a very quiet start to the game, Thomas Berry. Boy from Greater Western Victoria Rebels. And he's got a chance to kick, what, his third, is it?
Yeah, he's kicked 2 already. 2 in the second quarter. Comes in and hits the post. Sonia Minor pushes the margin out to 40 points. Redland bring it back in. Fleming out to the pocket. Adrian Williams can't handle it. Berry's there. Might have been a push in the back, so they'll be lucky and get away with it. He's prone to the odd brain explosion, Adrian Williams. Kicks it long. Awkward ball. Clay Cameron flew for it. Couldn't take it. Damien Stephen is manhandled as soon as he got hold of it by Louis Taylor and also Marcus Adams. So stalemate ensues. Malone. Miller. And Matheson just impeded him enough to quell the disposal, and ball spills out over the boundary line.
Lifted his intensity, Reece Matheson. He was very quiet in the first quarter and a bit, but starting to really impact the game now.
Archie Smith took it out of the ruck, but nothing doing there. So Malone picked it up, opposing ruckman, and kicked it down the line. Clay Cameron right there with him was Marcus Adams, and over the line it goes. It's right in front of the interchange benches of both sides.
I wonder if he got those beautiful orange boots for his birthday today, Kangaroo. I haven't seen those before.
All right. Batty Simmons looks like he was taken high. Not to be, says the umpire. Matheson just goes long. Robertson was a target. Stallard was there first, though. McFadgen, he lost the ball. That probably should have been holding the ball for mine. Umpire says no, and we'll have a throw in.
Been quiet in the first half, McFadgen. I noticed they threw him into the midfield centre bounce at that start of the third quarter, hopefully to get him into the game a bit.
A bit more subdued start, at least on the scoreboard, to this second half. Of course, we had 16 goals in the second quarter. Redland get it going their way. Miller, Batty, Simmons, back to Clay Cameron. We started that movement. Long kick, inside forward 50. Hamilman just worked Eagles under the ball, did it nicely. Takes the mark. He's going to have to kick it all of 40 metres on the tough angle out on that far side, in the far pocket.
Well, we said that Williams, Hamilman and Cameron need to lift. Well, they've been involved in these passages of play. Need Hamilman to kick this one.
So the hammer comes in, sits it up, it's across the face, and no one there to contest for Redland. So Wooler just took it uncontested. Easy as you like. It's not what Phil Cars would want. Picks it up. Fullerton had the run of it. Couldn't take it. Ball to the back. Walker got it to Cox. Chipping ball. Finds Keys. Dropped what he should have taken. McGannon and Stallard combine. Let's kick it. And Wooler, he's set upon straight away. Ball turned over again. Batty, Simmons, Cameron. Little chipping ball. Trying to find the front was Hamilman. Couldn't do so. Ball at ground level now. Well fed out by the Lions, and they'll come away. It'll be Walker. Gets the ball further afield to Fullerton. Just had the answers, and Fullerton, his kick was terrible, and Batty Simmons probably should have marked that, to be fair.
Yeah, unless there was a fingertip on that play on the mark. May have got a fingertip, or he thought he may have got a fingertip on it. It's the only thing I could think of, but otherwise should have just taken the mark. Dangerous time here, though, for Redland. They can't afford the Lions to get the next one. That's a throw.
Eli Smith down to Joyce. Set up. Keys. Very nice mark. So the next one goes on his non-preferred. Not sure why, but sits it up into a nice spot. And that was a nice mark. Madden?
Yep.
And the Irishman. Haven't seen him play up forward this year so far. He's kicked 2 today, including the first of the game, and has a chance to line up for number 3.
Yeah, kicking's not really his forte. It's leg speed, run and carry, but crumbing forwards with his leg speed, who knows?
Comes in, and nice off the boot. That's 3 for the Irishman. Lions had their second in this third quarter, and they pushed the margin out to 46 points. So worrying signs for Redland. The Lions have looked far more composed in the start of this second half.
Yeah, look, I think Mitch Harm would have had some harsh words to a few of his players, I reckon, about their consistency in that first half, and they've come out fully focused and playing the team structure and the team rules much better in this third quarter, and they've really made Redland work hard here, and they're just clinging on, aren't they?
Yeah, by the skin of their teeth. If Brisbane get a hold of them here, this could get ugly. Malone took it out of the ruck, did well. Got to half forward, it was touched off the boot, so plans the call anyway. Key's not sure where to go. He's worrying about who's around him instead of looking for an option, then proceeds to turn it over to Kennelly. And his kick is a terrible one. He almost tried a bit of forcing backs, just back to Keys almost. Wooler just puts it into the path of Eagles. His kick goes out to the outer wing. As far as way as you can get it from us, Louis Taylor. In turn gets it to Wooler. And a Bastanak. Kicks it up and never quite had contact there, did Mills. And it was Walker that took an easy mark in the finish.
Probably didn't want to body him because he hasn't really got the body to go with him, but probably had to in that occasion.
Just sits it up, does Walker. Madden again, front spot. You're saying crumbing forward or marking forward, Bob Batty?
Well, he's certainly looking like a marking forward in those two. But yeah, you would think he'd be using his pace and getting the crumb. But if he can go up and take 2 catches like that, he's a big improver for the Lions. He's held his spot well this year.
Well, he's 186 centimetres. So he's not short by any stretch of the imagination as Madden comes in. And that's 4 for James Madden. A personal best for him at NEAFL level. And the project player from County Dublin, showing them a clean set of heels in more ways than one on the scoreboard and at ground level.
Yes, no, that's one thing that I'd take my hat off to Mitch Hahn and his coaching staff. They adapt their players to play different roles, don't they? I've noticed today they've sent Walker forward, they've sent Wooler back at the start of this second half to get him into the game. It's the sort of thing that good coaches do, get their players, might be down a bit, but get them into the game, and good coaching from Brisbane Lions.
Bounce again. Dwyer in the ruck. Outmatched there, Archie Smith. Just waltzing through. In the finish was Wooler. Kicks it long inside. Williams with the spoil on Walker. The two W's combine. Keys looked like he pushed his opponent over. No harm, no foul, says the umpire. Madden got the handball from Walker. Turn gives it to Keys. He just sits it up. Right near the line. Bouncing ball. And out of bounds on the Fullers. Trying to get the ball forward was McFadgen. So Redland can repel. They're under all sorts of pressure here. 52 points behind the Lions. It was Mills, back of the pack. Dwyer's there, the young man. A valuable lesson. Wooler, it's off the side of the boot. Just hoiks it forward and finds Robertson, who was just out, as a good forward does. Plays in front and came out to meet it beautifully.
Yeah, just lost their structure altogether here, Redland. It's danger times. There a lot of players with hands on their hips and looking forlorn, and it's as if it's about to all implode at the moment. So Robertson should get the distance and probably kick his, what's that, his third? Or
he's kicked 2. 2-1, 13 disposals, 10 marks. Kicks it nicely off the boot, and that is straight through. So that is 3 for Nick Robertson. Margin out to 58 points. We've played 17 minutes of this third quarter. And Redland, as you said, they just need to pull things back, get their structure right, and that effort, and start winning the ball through the middle, Bob.
Certainly do. It's like going up the river in a barbed wire canoe at the moment. There's leaking holes everywhere, and Lions are just queuing up, and that was far too easy for Robertson. He was under no pressure. No one within 10 metres of him to take that chest mark. And well done to Toby Wooler. He's probably had 1 or 2 possessions to half-time, and he's probably had half a dozen in 10 minutes in this third quarter.
It's up to 12 possessions for the game, 5 marks. He's kicked the goal. And Bassinak, he's had 23. Allison's had 20. Ball at half forward for Redlands. They've held the ball up nicely on that occasion. Getting up is one of those men in Jacob Allison. 20 possessions. Smith, Archie Smith. Salter, quick kick forward. Didn't go the required distance. Just pulling a play down there was Adams, and you saw the sheer strength of the man there. He just yanked poor opponent down. Getting up a little bit gingerly is Franks.
And a blood rule.
And a blood rule.
Slowly finding his feet, Marcus Adams. He's just playing mainly as a key back. He's probably had Clay Cameron and Hamilman at different stages, but slowly finding his feet. Still a number of weeks away from some real good footy, I would have thought.
That one to Dwyer. Eli Smith emerges with it, gets it off to Cedric Cox. Chipping ball close to the boundary line. Is it out of bounds on the full? No. Says the umpire. Louis Taylor has it. That kick's not a good one. Or it worked out in the finish. Carr's got a fingertip to it. Archie Smith. The ball hit the deck. Berry, Bastanak, Cox just feigns it nicely, gets it off to Eli Smith. Under pressure straight away from Phil Carrs. Well done, Damien Stephen for Redland. Puts it in the path of Clay Cameron. They're under enormous pressure, and Cunnington's kick, he panicked, sliced it, and only found Ben Keys.
Yeah, this will be just on his distance. He's kicked 3 nice goals already today, and he'd be he's been one of their most consistent goal kickers all year at NEAFL level. Be leading their goal kicking for the Brisbane Lions.
Keys comes in on the left. Looks very handy. Points back upfield to those who contributed to that one. That's 3 for him. So they're queuing up now, the Lions. Just have the scoreboard humming over nicely. Margin out to 64 points. It's doubled. The deficit for Redland has doubled, or more than doubled in this third quarter, and we're only 20 minutes in.
Well, I can remember just when we're thinking it's nearly half time, there was only 3 goals a diff, and Lions kicked the last 2 before half time, and it's been one-way sailing, 5 already, 5-4 to no score in this quarter. So all one-way traffic. There's hardly been a ball go forward inside their 50, Redland. So Malone needs to lift, as do all the Redland players.
They come in very fit and healthy, do the Lions. 20 listed players to play against this Redland side as Bastanak comes through. Walker just hits it over the top. Lucks of fortune, finds Robertson. They're going again, although this one bounces the wrong side of the post. They had a player at the back there. He could have waltzed into goal. Might have been Madden again. Was just sitting there waiting for it. 65 points the margin. Stallard goes to the outer side. Malone. Archie Smith spoils. Louis Taylor feeds it back. Bastanak's there. Finding the ball at will at the moment. Just out of the fingertips of Fullerton. Ball spills over the boundary line. Throw in. 30 metres around from the Brisbane Lions goal, out of side.
They just cannot get it out of their back half, can they, Redland? They can't get clean possession and haven't got players running to support like they were in that first half.
Malone gets it down. Salter had a fresh air shot at it. They'll come away with it. Clay Cameron pushing down to try and help. Cedric Cox just eludes him. Archie Smith now to Ravel. Feeds the ball out wider. On there by Dads. Won it for Redland. Johnson. But stolen by Keys. Just bursts a tackle. Sits the ball up. And Robertson waiting for it. Just got over the back of the contest. Robertson was like a gift.
Yeah, a good kick from Keys and a great contested possession, wasn't it? He was under the pump. The ball was in dispute, and he just attacked it with ferocity of a real seasoned player. And well done to Ben Keys.
So Keys, he's got 3. 3 straight. I should say Robertson. And Robertson kicks a goal. I was talking about Ben Keys. He kicked it into Robertson.
Yes, he was the one that won the contested footy and got it through.
So well done to Robertson. 3 goals, 2 for him. 15 disposals. And they are just racking them up and dominating Redland in this quarter. 6 goals to zip. Haven't even scored this quarter at Redland. Haven't looked likely. 23 and a half minutes gone. And the wheels have well and truly fallen off.
Yeah, they've rusted up, haven't they? They've just got no run. They've got no belief. I think it's all coming back to really haunt them at the moment. They're on show. There'll be more and more people flooding into this ground, and they really need a lift here.
Archie Smith gets the ball down. Bastanak has been busy. Eli Smith likewise, but on this occasion, handball doesn't find its target. Clay Cameron underneath it. He's been put into the middle to try and give some energy. Although now he's going back. Play that spare man. Try and halt the the flood that's coming that way. Batty Simmons dispossessed. Keys gets it going his way, but to that man we spoke about before, Clay Cameron. Off towards Salter. Can't take it. The pressure was good from Keys. Salter goes again, though. Wins the ball. Off to McGannon. Over the head of Batty Simmons. Ravel just overran it. So Batty Simmons has another opportunity. Goes out wider. Just skirting the 50. Off to Baker. Well, and there by Hinge. Now off to Aaron Christensen. Little chipping ball. Dads picks it up nicely. Kicks for goal. On the outside of the right. Slid across the face. So it's the first score of the second half for them, but not what they would have wanted.
Tommy Salter back behind play after that clash is a little bit sore, lower leg, struggling a little bit.
Eagles kick's not his best effort. Still ball out towards that outer wing. Wooler has his kick partially smothered, but stays in. Adams is there. Fullerton, or in fact it's Madden, making space. Can run and just gets his foot to the ball and kicks another one. It's a handful for James Madden, and he's been a handful for Redlands. 5 goals. 3 in this quarter. And the Lions extend yet again 76 points.
Yeah, poor old Sam Cunnington there trying to chase him down. It's forlorn hope there, although he did get a mitt on him as he kicked for goal. But look, he can't miss at the moment, can he? I don't know whether he's had 5 straight or it must be... I can't remember him missing any. He's been a bit of a dead-eye dick with all his shots.
5 straight. So James Madden, 12 disposals, 7 kicks, 5 handballs, 5 marks. Got a clearance to his name as well. And straight on. Straight ahead, 5 straight.
See, Walker has swapped over with Adams, giving Adams a run to see if he can add to their goal kicking.
Malone, can they get something going, Redland, here, late in the quarter to at least salvage a little bit of face here because the onslaught has been real. 7 goals, 7-5 to 1 behind. They need a spark, Redland. The Lions, they are just getting up and pumping. Keneally kicks it up, forward 50. Walker's back there, but Hinge is there to mop up. Cox and Keys into the path of Jacob Allison. Just measures a kick nicely, and there's that man again, James Madden. Be tough to catch on the lead. Just getting to know the nuances of AFL football. Hinge took a good mark. Kicks it over the top. McFadgen, he's made to work. He's got 2 opponents. One of them's Clay Cameron. The other one's Fleming. Stands there. He's happy to take the tackle over the line. And holding the ball. He was over the line, so I'm not sure how...
Yeah, you just can't stop, though, and just pretend it's going out of bounds. You've got to make it at least an effort, I would have thought. So, fair call, I think.
Yep. Far side, McGannon to Cormick. Damien Stephen, little chipping ball sideways, inboard. Goes laterally again, finds Phil Cars. Be very upset with that. This quarter with Phil Cars. Baker. Now Bastanak for the Lions, gets it up. Marcus Adams, that's a good mark. Puts the ball up inside forward 50. Clay Cameron, he was there to try and help assist Yagmore. Throw in. Malone. The hit out, but not much else is happening. Baker, Stephen. Well done. Job there. I'll get it forward. Cars goes over the top though. Dwyer. Brisbane can mop up again. Payne and Eagles combine. Gives it back to Payne, does Matt Eagles. Has Cox over the top. just sizes up the next target. Adams stood up there, brought the ball to ground where Matheson's waiting. Gets the free hands and gets the handball away. Malone, I think Taylor, he went, oh, hold on, there's a big bloke coming the other way. Bigger than most, even in the AFL. McGannon. Malone again. The handball couldn't find Clay Cameron. Now the ball's tied up under plenty. Some 25 metres out from the Lions' goal.
Yeah, like a semi-trailer coming straight at him there, Louis Taylor. He was a big body coming at him, but he did well, kept his composure.
Fullerton sharked the hit out from Malone, and then the flying shot from McFadden. It was fanciful.
It's like a scissor kick, wasn't it, in the World Cup soccer? Probably wasn't needed, though. He could have just about run in an open goal.
We should have been looking for a running target, one would think. Fullerton pushes his man under the ball. Ball to the dangerous spot. Matheson just eluded everybody, gives it back to Joyce, and off one step, just puts it out to the right. So 1 point. 77 points now, the margin. Played 30 minutes of the third quarter. Well on there by Damien Stephen. Little short ball finds Sol Cormick. Goes long. Inside forward 50. The Lions are there in numbers. And that's a three-quarter time siren. It was one-way traffic in that third quarter. 7 goals, 6. The Brisbane Lions kicked to 1 behind for Redland. The margin was 30 points at half-time. Now it's out to 77 points. So it has been an absolute avalanche going the Lions' way. And while I ask Bob Batty in just a moment to assess that third quarter, the leading possession getters Ryan Basnack's had 28, just racking them up nicely. Allison's had 21. Eli Smith has had 18, as has Louis Taylor. For Redland, Damien Stevens had 18 disposals. Yagmore had 13. Did not have a touch in that third quarter, I might add. And Hayden Batoli-Simmons, 13 disposals. Clay Cameron and Jai Kennelly have had 12 apiece. Inside 50s have told the tale now, 51-32, so very much going Brisbane's way. Clearance is going just Brisbane's way, 27-26. And hit-outs going Redland's way, 27-18. Bob Batty, how'd you see it?
Yeah, just a smacking, wasn't it? They flexed their muscle in that third quarter, Brisbane Lions, and showed why they're undefeated with 10 and zip on the board so far this year. They just blew them away. They won it in the midfield. Reece Matheson was very good that quarter. He had plenty of help. I thought Toby Willer improved that quarter. They had winners all over the ground, didn't they? Cedric Cox started winning the footy. Nick Robertson was lively. And what about the goal sneak? James Madden, 5 goals from the Irish rookie. Been playing as a defender all year, going forward and kicked 5. So a good effort. Ben Keys had a great quarter too. And Ryan Bastanak just knocks up getting the footy. But for the Redland, there wasn't many that put their hand up that quarter. Damien Stevens trying hard. Craig Malone, the ruck, trying hard. And Yagmore down back, but there's not many. They'd be really disappointed in that quarter, Redland. That was pretty forlorn. They look over there at three-quarter time, and pretty hard to psych yourself up in this last quarter when you're 76 points down three-quarter time.
Well, that's the wisdom there of Bob Batty, the encyclopedia of everything NEAFL. We'll take a break at three-quarter time. It's the Lions by 77 points. This is round 13, NEAFL action on NEAFL TV, thanks to our broadcast partner, Bar TV. Welcome back to the Gabba. Preparations are underway for the commencement of the last quarter here. It is the Brisbane Lions by 77 points at the last change. They kicked 7 goals to zip in the third quarter to extend from 30 points at half time to 77 as we're underway. Introduce Bob Batty back into the telecast very shortly. Free kick on play. The ball will come back to the benefit of Ben Keys, although advantage has been paid, albeit not far further forward. Reece Matheson it is. Adams was there, playing up forward in this last half of the game. McFadden feeds it off to Taylor, and that is 1-2 open the last quarter. And it's going the Lions' way here again. This time, Louis Taylor. He scores the first one, and it's his first for the afternoon. Margin out to 83. Bob Batty, welcome back, and it's more of the same.
Yeah, more of the same. It's looking pretty ominous. Looks like we thought at the start of play that if Lions put their game together at a 100-point margin would be on the cards. Well, it's certainly right on the cards now, and who would have thought that 2 minutes to go in the second quarter was 16 or maybe 18 points, the deficit. So it's really been one-way traffic ever since, and well done to the Brisbane Lions midfield. They got right on top.
At the 31.5-minute mark of the second quarter, it was 18 points the difference. Lions kicked 2 more goals in that second quarter. And as here they come again. Ball to forward 50. Adams was there, being the marking target. Gets it back again. Eli Smith. Good agility. Goes on the left. And flying for the ball was, looked like Wooler. Couldn't take it. Redland, they'll bring it back. Sol Cormick has the ball now. Still in his defensive half of the ground, the run of McGannon. And good tackle there from Cox, just knocked the ball out of his hand, then gathers it up, and now he's caught by McGannon. Keeping it between themselves, and the ball will be balled up. It's right on forward 50.
Yeah, good work, McGannon. He was tackled and lost control. It would have been easy for him to just give up the ghost, but he laid the tackle on Cox.
McGannon from Fish Creek, home of Barry Stanfield and Wayne Wiedemann, former AFL players. Ball out to half forward, no real clear winner of that scrimmage, so the umpire will come in and do it all again.
He was a cult figure, wasn't he, Wayne Wiedemann, with the big, long, streaky hair, blonde hair?
The big mullet he had. I know Weed, good man he is too. And Barry Stanfield living in Queensland these days as well. Been up here 5 years. Saw him out there watching Mitch McGannon down at Redlands a few weeks back. Ball goes Brisbane's way again, and quick kick out from the clearance found Connor McFadden. Has an enormous ability, this young fellow. Long periods of last year injured and just trying to find his feet at AFL professional standard training levels. He's got one for the afternoon, comes in and kicks it wonderfully. He had to kick it the best part of 45 metres. Not the easiest of angles, but made it look like child's play. Margin out to 89 points.
Yeah, good finish from Connor McFadden. As you rightly said, he's a player with enormous potential. Just got to get his body right. Missed all the pre-season, so this season's going to be a learning curve for him. But he's been handy. Hadn't had a great day today, but that was certainly lift his spirits. Beautiful kick from, as you said, 45 on an angle.
So 89 points, the margin. We've played 4.5 minutes of this last quarter. 9 goals to zip Brisbane's way in the second half so far. Malone gets it down, but stealing it there was Bastanak. Inside forward 50 again. Over the top of players. Mills was there, but Taylor swoops on it. Goes across the face. Looking for Berry. Copped a high one, so win the free kick, and this should be yet another goal because it's only 20 metres out and not a tough kick at all. I'm going to go start looking for the stats of highest scores. Berry comes in and kicks another. 3 for him.
Yeah, look, he's been a good player for them this year, hasn't he? He was another Greater Western Victoria pick. They've got a few of them: McCluggage, Cox, Thomas's older brother, Jared, all come from Greater Western Victoria Rebels. And look, he's had a good NEAFL season so far and had a very good day today. 3 goals. He's had plenty of mates. Since half-time, Redland have hardly touched the scoreboard.
Well, I don't think Brisbane are going to trouble their highest score. Highest score in the NEAFL competition, 41 goals, 28. 274 against the Giants in round 9 of 2012. So I think that night, I don't think we'll get there today. Pretty fair to say.
That was in their formative years, wasn't it?
The Giants.
Giants.
Yep, absolutely. Margin out to 95 points. They go forward again. Over the top of players. Adrian Williams comes out to meet it. The left footer. It's a nice one. Works out. Gets to Baker. Done some nice things today, but like a lot of teammates, haven't seen a lot of it in this second half. Cunnington, likewise. You haven't seen much of him. Christensen. Couple of goals to get them moving in the second quarter. And that occasion, a nice pass to Hamilman.
Yeah, 3 nice kicks, wasn't it? It was Williams attacking the footy. He hasn't had a great day, Adrian Williams, the dual Dowling medal winner from Redlands, but that was a good piece of play from Redland.
So Hamilman, just the one this afternoon, comes in. It's close. It's there. First goal of the second half for the Redland Bombers through Matthew Hamilman. To say that was needed is it's an understatement to say it's an understatement.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, their job now is to keep it under 100 points, isn't it? Keep it in the double figures and not get it, let it slide into triple figures as a defeat. And certainly that's going to give him a little bit of spirit. He's worked hard. He's had 2 or 3 big defenders on him all day, Matthew Hamilman. So hasn't been his greatest day, but certainly that was a lovely finish. So something to hang the hat on and work on from here on, Redland.
Underway again. Malone uncontested in the ruck. Cunnington on hands and knees. Very quiet day, Cunnington. Just the 7 disposals. Had plenty of mates. Young debutant Liam Dwyer hasn't managed to have a touch yet. Had a fresh air one that time. Keneally it was, and then got it back. Now they turn it over. Hinge. Up towards Madden, and also Fleming's there. Fleming did well. Just a little bit more grounded. Used a bit more guile on that occasion. Revel. Did well, got it to Eagles. Overshot the handball, was looking for Cox, but only found Clay Cameron. And then comes out and finds the big boy, Hamilman, again.
Yeah, nice kick from Clay Cameron, wasn't it? They pushed him back behind the footy again just to try and stem the flow. But this is kickable for Hamilman. He loves these, a bit of right to left. We've got a good view of it.
Right behind it on NEAFL TV, thanks to our broadcast partner, Bar TV. It's online for the post and it hits it. Beautiful view of that. Never looked like missing.
No, and if there were extra points for being able to hit the post like that, full on, you'd miss every time. But when you're having a set shot, that's what happens.
Well, dicey kick in. Just found Bastanak. It's off to Walker right on defensive 50. Might be a rule change. Perhaps, Bob. If you call a post. Maybe you get extra points.
Oh, yeah, you got something there, Kanga.
Yeah.
Could be a 10-pointer if you say from 50 that you can hit the post.
You heard it first here. Just thought of it.
No, I don't think it's got legs.
Coming to a pre-season near you. Bastanak and Matheson. So just on the commentary wing here at the Gabba. Vulture Street side for those. Oh, that is a big fly. That was by the debutant Dwyer. Hasn't had a touch, but almost took a hanger. Clay Cameron tackled Wooler. Smith got it down to Matheson. And batted down by McFadgen to Matheson again. And the ball just went out of bounds there, so the umpire called it back. It was a big fly from the debutant Dwyer.
Yeah, Alexander Hill's boy, and as you said, just would have been keen to get his hands on the footy, so good jump.
Archie Smith just almost threw it at the back. Robertson kicks it up. Front spot was Taylor. Almost brought it down. Not quite good enough. Oh, Adams. That's a fierce tackle. Turn the ball over. Robertson. Little kick. Nobody in particular, but I think Keys might get there first, although Williams is there as well. Well done by Adrian Williams. Billy Johnson feeds it back to Adrian Williams, and then just Adrian Williams. Not sure what he was looking for. Hopefully it wasn't rain. Ain't none coming. And it's Louis Taylor's got it again.
That's two. He nearly took a contested mark up here in the goal square against three big blokes, and he's featured out on the 50 metre as he short passes.
Finds Bastanak. Tight angle. And Bastanak clearly fancies himself.
Well, I reckon that's the last kick before you go into the change rooms over there on that pocket. So you'd know it pretty well from there.
Just opens up the angle a little and just pulled it to the near side. So it wasn't a bad effort. Method was right. Didn't quite get the outcome he wanted. Johnson brings it back in, looking for the big boy in Malone. Fullerton was right there with him. Got a hand in there, Wooler. It's off to Joyce. Centering target, finds Matheson. They're just peppering away here, Brisbane. And inside 50s. 59 to 35. And it's just a sign of the fact that it's just relentless pressure.
Yeah, pat in the back there for Fullerton to get the ball to the ground against big tiny Malone. He did well to punch it down. And beautiful kick, centering kick from Joyce.
Matheson squeezes it home. Margin back out to 95 points. And that is Matheson, his first for the day. It was a bit quiet early, but really got trucking along in terms of racking them up and being an influential player on the ground. 5 inside 50s for Matheson. 6 clearances, 1 goal, 5 marks to go with his 22 disposals.
Yeah, he's lifted his performance, hasn't he? From, I reckon it was probably after quarter time that he started to find his feet and really has worked hard at the centre clearances and shown a bit of leg speed today, which is not normally his forte. He's usually in and under and feeding the ball out, but he's spread from the contest pretty well today, and a good finish there.
So that'll be brought back. As we mentioned, the margin was 18 points just before half-time, and it has been 11 goals to 1 in this second half. Redland get it going their way, but only just. Archie Smith takes it, but it was play on was the call. Didn't go the required distance. Keys skirts the outer side, the Stanley Street side of the Gabba, but too wide. And this will be a free kick for Peter Yagmore. His first touch in the second half. It's a good one.
Ball.
Can kick. Oh. Clay Cameron, not sure where he was going, but it will work out. No, it won't, because it just clean bowled Fleming. Taylor has got it for the Lions. Matheson back to Taylor. They'll keep feeding it along, although they might mess it up here. Ball in dispute. Hinges after it. Ravel just brushes one aside. That was Billy Johnson. Cox. Dispossessed by Sol Cormac. Well done by him on that occasion. Cunnington feeds it off. They can raffle this. Cars gives it to Hamilman. And the hammer in his house kicks number 3.
Well, they're just keeping it under that 100-point margin. Every time they get to within a kick of the 100 points, they put one through. So good work there from Cunnington to have the vision to get that over to Cars, who handballed it to Hamilman by himself. But it was a bit of a picnic down there. You could have had a cut lunch and a couple of sangers and taking your time to waltz through there. It was very easy finish there for Matthew Hamilton. He hasn't probably kicked an easier goal for a long, long time.
No. Well on there by Sol Cormac too. Laid the tackle, provided the pressure, turned the ball over. He didn't quite have his kicking boots on early in the game, but he doesn't lack energy or enthusiasm, that's for sure.
No, certainly not, and he's good to see him back playing after missing a full year with a knee injury.
I agree with that one. Fullerton goes in the ruck, gets it down. Salter, now to Cameron and Mills there. Hinge affects the spoil, does it well. Feed it back. He's getting involved there. That was Damien Stephen. Coming away was James Madden. Puts it there nicely for Jacob Allison, who spent it before he actually got a hold of it properly. Gets it back, has a couple of bounces inside forward 50. Target there, that was Wooler. Goes at ground level now. And find get what he needs, and he was looking for the mark. And young Liam Dwyer effectively just ties the ball up.
Fullerton there gave his ankle a bit of a tweak there in the middle of the ground. He hasn't really limped off. He looks a bit ginger though.
That's the first possession for Liam Dwyer there. Not one he'll remember too well, I'd think. Ball was rushed through for a point. Stallard and Williams as a runner. That was Johnson. Nice kick. Damien Stephen. Little chipping ball. Clay Cameron did it well. Got the half volley and found a bit of space over the back. Hamilman's there and just drops what he probably should have taken. Matty Eagles just got, thinking his line of vision. Cedric Cox. It's the ball out towards Ravel. Dragged down by Cunnington. And out of bounds it is. Hamilman would like that one again, I would have thought.
Yeah, he just had to run at the footy, didn't he? And then take it at full stretch. But Eagles was out of position, but did well to at least cause a fumble.
Smith up against Mills. It's Archie Smith that wins it. Attacking the ball there was Bastanak. Fleming's there. Bastanak applied the pressure. Damien Stephen gets up with the ball and loses it immediately. Batty Simmons just tries to palm one off, and then Eli Smith just crunches him in a tackle.
Be happy to get through this game, Eli Smith. His first one back for a while, and been a very good player for him today.
Certainly a good contributor. Here he is again. Here's a bit of a bull. It's a ball up. Bastanak. It's a nice handball. And up to Berry. Just looks like he's a smooth mover the way he gets around it. And Robertson had no right to take that mark and just jumped more in hope. And then somehow got his player off balance and took a nice chest mark.
Yeah, good leap, wasn't it? He's an athletic, he's an endurance athlete. And he's got some real spring in those bulky, thick legs. And he's had a day out, hasn't he, up forward? He doesn't often play as a tall forward, but he's had that job today with Skinner pulling out, and this is for a fistful.
Yeah, he's got 4 at the moment, 4 goals, 2. Comes in, 45-degree angle, 35 metres out, and slides it through. So 5 for him. He joins James Madden with 5 as well. The Lions kick their 24th goal, and they move to 24-17, 161 to Redland, 9-11, 65. It is 96 points, Bob, and we have played 19 or not over, a little over 19 and a half minutes of this last quarter.
Yeah, Redland need to kick the next one to make sure it doesn't get out to that 100. That's the aim for the quarter, I'm sure. That was a good finish, wasn't it, from Robertson? And you mentioned it well, Eli Smith is a bull at those stoppage and the clearances, and he did well to get the ball out. Good kick from Berry to give Robertson that mark.
If the Brisbane Lions stay largely fit, they are going to take some absolute stopping this 2019 NEAFL season. It's hard to see too many sides getting near them on this basis if they have all their troops on deck. And, of course, they had a few outs in Skinner and also Starcevic.
Yep, exactly right. But, yeah, look, they've been well coached and well drilled, and they're playing for each other very, very well.
Man again, Eli Smith just turns, wheels. Berry flew high, just running onto it was Bastanak. And a lovely pass finds his little mosquito brigade mate in Louis Taylor. And the crowd that's starting to gather here for the main game. Of course, Brisbane taking on Melbourne later on this afternoon. They're pretty happy to see Louis Taylor. He's a bit of a fan favourite.
Going to kick from side on here, isn't he? Around the corner. It should be up his alley.
They practice this ad nauseum now, and it's just a beautiful routine. Adds another one. So Louis Taylor's got two, both in this last quarter. And the Lions, on their merry way they go. Raise the bat 100 points up. 102 points in front of Redland. And they move to 25-17, 167. Redland 9-11, 65.
Yeah, well, it's showtime, isn't it? As you said, the crowd building up in that pocket. So some of those Lions players up there are really wanting to put on a show for the people that are coming through the gate as we speak. So a great second half by the Brisbane Lions. They've been absolutely dominant. 13 goals to 2, I think it is, which is a massive turnaround from a competitive first half.
The Lions kicked all but 3 goals in the first quarter and then have just really opened up. Redland have it going forward. Cox affects the spoil. Redland take it further forward. Hamilman does the roving and turns around and just hooked it too far across.
You think that'd be impossible from there, wouldn't you? The way he was facing, that he could hook it that far. He's looked dangerous in the last quarter, hasn't he? He's had a hard match up all day on Eagles and Adams.
Yeah, that's right. Brisbane do possess a number of good defensive options to shut down power forwards. Saw Bruce Revell into Josh Walker, and he'll get it back here, the young man. Played a full game yesterday and was rung up about half an hour before this game started. And when Skinner was a late withdrawal, said, get your boots, get your kit. Adams goes high, can't bring it down, and get to the ground. So they started the game with 21 until Bruce Revell got here, got taped up on the bench, warm up, and he started to play some game time in the second quarter. In the meantime, they lost Kadeen Coleman. Saw who played a full game yesterday as well.
Yeah, gee, tough work for those kids, isn't it, to batch up 2 games in a row.
Bastanak. Robinson couldn't take it on that occasion, but Madden, that's a nice kick inside forward 50. Just sized it up nicely under pressure. And Marcus Adams gets his chance. His chance to kick his first goal in Lions colours.
Yeah, we'll get the candles ready. He could blow the candles out here if he can kick this one. He's first in Lions colours, as you say, on his 26th birthday, and I reckon they'll get around him if he kicks this. He's starting to fly for his marks and get a bit of confidence, so let's see how he goes with the kicking.
From 48 metres, gives it plenty, and just off to the right. So they would have got very close to him, but not to be. No pats on the back there. Redland go to the outer side. Baker. Nice kick finds Hamilman. Come a long way up the ground. Trying to get out the back is Clay Cameron. Does well. 55 from goal. On the left. Open goal square and rolls it through. Clay Cameron, he is class when he gets an opportunity. He's been in pretty good form. Hasn't been his best one today, but never stops trying. And that's 2 for him for the afternoon. Puts the margin back to 96 points. Redland kicked their 10th goal of the game and played 25 minutes of this last quarter.
Yeah, well, great work from Hamilman. He pushed right up the ground, took the ball at half back and kicked a massive bomb that went probably 70 metres. And Cameron read it beautifully in the air. Turned around looking for someone up forward. There wasn't anyone there, so he had to try and kick a long left foot goal, which he did. So full credit to those two boys in that passage of play.
Great to see behind us the great Michael Price getting ready to call the Brisbane-Melbourne game for ABC Grandstand. So good call there, Pricey. Secondary stoppage there.
Of course, he had the job there yesterday at Aspley. Aspley really turned the screws up on the Canberra Demons.
That they did. So you'll hear the great vocal tones of Michael on ABC shortly for the main game. Of course, he's one of the great voices of the NEAFL as well here. Keneally, manhandled. Plenty of players around the contest. Another stoppage. Must be getting right to the end here. They've had 9 goals kicked in this last quarter, so might be in a bit of extra time. Won't quite, that's a high tackle, won't quite match the second quarter. A 37-minute quarter on the back of 16 goals in that quarter. Redland take it out wide. Cars, coach of Redland, a bit of soul searching to do. He gets around Madden. Wobbly ball right to forward 50. Malone couldn't handle it. Well done there by Cox. Just measured the handball nicely to Walker and Matheson through the middle of the Gabba. 1-on-1 contest. Just too strong is Robertson as the final siren sounds. And Nick Robertson can go back and try and kick his 6th goal of the game and put the margin back over 100 points. It'll be 102 if he kicks straight.
Well, he's kicked very accurately so far today, so might have missed 1 or 2. So this will test him. Be right on the 50 mark or cross the 50 mark as he kicks. But got the crowd behind him. He's, I'm sure all the supporters over there in the pocket will give him a nice ovation if he slots this one through to a personal best 6.
20th disposal. This will be 5 goals 2. Comes in. And the anticlimax is that he kicks a point. So that is the end of the game. The Brisbane Lions run out very convincing winners by 97 points as we hear the Lions song. We might cut into that Lions song, so we'll get moving here, Bob. We had an enormous score here, 25-19, 169 to Redland, 10-12-72. The Lions had winners absolutely everywhere. Possessions 371 to 241, inside 50, 64 to 41. Clearances going Brisbane's way in the finish after Redlands were very spirited early, 38 to 30. And leading possession getters Ryan Bassanak had 36 possessions, 3 points. That's probably the only real blemish on his game today, 9 clearances. Louis Taylor had 25 disposals. Eli Smith, I think his game was terrific with 25 disposals and a goal as well. And then Reece Matheson with 24. And then on Redland's side, not much to tell. It was Damien Steve with 19 disposals and a goal. Clay Cameron kicked a couple of goals for 19 disposals as well. And then Keneally down to 17. So comprehensively outplayed the Redland side, Bob.
Yeah, certainly from half-time on, or probably about 3 or 4 minutes before half-time to the end of the game. They were just outclassed, outrun, outthought. Beautiful kicking from the Lions. They pinpointed their kicks and really hit their targets, and it was a fantastic second half. 13 goals, 10 to 3-3 is a fantastic performance from the undefeated Brisbane Lions. They had plenty of good players. You mentioned Bastanak, Keys, Allison, Eli Smith. You mentioned him. He was very good for his first game back. And Robertson and Madden, the 2 goal kickers with 5 each. And then for Redland, there wasn't many, as you said. Damien Stephen tried hard. Tiny Malone tried hard in the ruck. I thought Clay Cameron worked his way into the contest after being pretty well held up forward. And really, they didn't have any other winners all over the ground. If you're going to get beaten by 97 points, you're not going to have many winners. So pretty hard to pick your socks up. But look, they had their chances early, 8 behinds. Cruel's anyone. If they kick 4 or 5 early, they might have been much closer near the end of the game. But well done. Brisbane Lions will be pleased as punch to get another win on the board.
Oh, Redland, they fall to 2-9 now, so not a great start to the season for them. They're sitting in 9th position. And Brisbane, the Lions, they move to 11 straight wins. And of course, last week they defeated Sydney Uni by 128 points. This week, Redland by 97 points. They move into a game next week against the Giants away, so which will be a good matchup. And Redland, they take on the Gold Coast Suns down the Gold Coast, and of course the Suns had a good win over the Sydney Swans last week, so both sides have got good challenges coming up. Now we might wind it up there, thanks to our broadcast partner Bar TV, our cameraman and everything up here. Tim, well done to him, and to you Bob Batty, thanks for joining us mate, and on behalf of myself, Mark Kennedy, and all the crew here, thanks for joining us on NEAFL TV. We'll look forward to seeing you for another exciting game in the NEAFL competition real soon.